Welcome to the special mini episode of Geeksphere where we are covering off the Surface Pro.
Yes.
I am Skip Parker and I'm joined by Brad Microsoft Borrows.
You are indeed.
Now, so the deal is Microsoft have now launched the Surface Pro in New Zealand.
Correct, and Australia.
And Australia.
Yep.
Okay, so this is quite big because we've been waiting for this, and the only devices we've seen are ones that have been parallel imported from overseas, right?
Which we've got here.
Which is like that one there. Tell me more. Where can I get hold of this device from a New Zealand context?
Right, so the device is going to go on sale for the 64 gig for $1349, for the 128 gig $1499, and you'll be able to get it at JB Hi-Fi, Noel Leeming's and Harvey Norman's.
Right.
So all those retail stores you'll be able to buy the Surface Pro device that we've actually got here in front of us right now. Now, one of the cool things is though, a few episodes ago on Geeksphere, we actually managed to get one of the first Surface Pros in the world.
Yep.
And we got it here and we actually did a bit of an unboxing and a walkthrough comparing it to the Surface RT device.
Fantastic. So let us just go and revisit that particular episode again.
Let's have a look at this thing.
Okay. Now, I'm not excited at all, guys. I've been holding out, waiting to unbox this tonight. So
there's only about 3 of these in the country right now.
Yeah, correct.
And we're recording this literally as this has come off the plane. So this is the Surface Pro. This is how Microsoft delivers the packaging and the experience of when you purchase a Surface Pro. Now, we've got the model we've got here, as Craig mentioned, is the 128 gig model.
Which is the biggest one you can get. There's a 64 and a 128.
Yeah. Now, a lot of feedback in the industry about the amount of usable space because the operating system takes up quite a large chunk. We'll have a look at that once we get this thing powered up. But again, the pricing for this, you cannot get these in New Zealand, only in the US and Canada at the moment. We're looking at $999 at the moment USD.
That's correct.
For one of these devices, and then you pay extra for the keyboard. For the 64 gig, it's $899. So you are paying the same price as you would for, I suppose, a cheap laptop.
Yeah, so a cheap, I guess you might just reach an entry-level ultra-thin laptop, but yeah, you'd be entry-level.
Look, cool. Let's take this thing out and have a look at it. So we did wait, as you can see from that side of things.
Have a box. Oh, very nice. Like their little tags.
So one of the things Apple's, I think, led the benchmark in the industry is the out-of-box experience. So what we've got here straight away, I'm going to hold this up for the camera here. Really nice packaged, really easy to get into, everything straight in front of you, not complicated, not a lot of stickers on the device, which is really quite cool.
I must admit that was a lot easier than others to get into. But
do you want to grab that puppy out?
Will do. So immediately I can see and feel that it's slightly bigger, or should I say thicker. There's because it is a fully blown powerful PC, it needs cooling, and what Microsoft have done is put this revolutionary, spit it out, cooling fin that goes all the way around here so air can go straight through it. There's been a bit of people talking about it, saying that they don't like that it's made it thicker, but I guess with all that power comes with a bit of ingenuity.
While you take the packaging off that, I'm going to get out the power supply. So obviously this is a US-based device, so we've got to do a converter. A bigger unit from the power supply side of things compared to the Surface RT, so definitely a bigger style device. And I also noticed that the plug is a little bit more sort of beveled. A lot of complaints about people from the Surface RT are the way it connected to it. This is definitely a lot more grooved in, and they've spent a bit of effort there. And of course, it's a US-based system, so we've got to convert across.
So just got this out. Very stunning looking device, I must admit. It feels very high end, very nice. I know they have the kickboard here.
So similar to what we've got with the Surface RT?
Just like the Surface RT. As I say, it's a little bit bigger, but honestly, if you're just going to sit there and use it as a tablet at your knees, it'll be fine. One
of the things that you just mentioned before, everything in the box itself is tagged, really easy to get out. None of this fiddling, trying to dig stuff out, which you've had there. And again, that looks like it's everything in the box. Really, really simple, really clean design.
So we can see here we've got a USB port. We've got the volume rocker button and the headphone port. We have the charge port here. Looks like a Kensington lock of sorts. There appears to be a microphone at the top and a power button. And we have the camera, which is quite powerful from what I've read thus far.
Front and rear facing cameras from what we're hearing. I think it's 8 megapixel front, 2
That's
megapixel
right,
back. Great for Skype and everything from that side of things.
And of course, Microsoft have bought Skype and integrating with everything.
I think what we'll do here is we'll just get a comparison on the camera here of actually the thickness. So obviously with the Surface RT, one of the nice features is you got this detachable keyboard. I'm going to park this to one side, and if you can put the kickstand out for us, Craig.
Will do.
We can actually get a look. So definitely a little bit thicker, but not by much actually. That's a lot tighter than I thought.
From the pictures I'd seen on the internet, I thought it was going to be a lot wider than that and heavier, but in the hand you can't really feel the difference.
Now it's interesting that you get a full 1080p resolution on this, and you don't on this side of things. I've also noticed, I'm going to spin this around for the camera side. If you look at what the power leads are, they've actually adjusted to where the HDMI, and they've actually obviously done some tweaking. One of the other things Microsoft did is took a lot of feedback in from the Surface RT around how easy it was for the kickstand, and they've actually lowered the kickstand a little bit to make it a bit easier to use from that side of things there. But it's definitely a lot thicker. If you can see on the camera there, we've got the fins, as Craig mentioned. I'd say the extra fin is probably giving you an extra 2 or 3 mils in thickness.
Correct. Yeah.
You reckon around that side?
I think the actual case itself is probably 2 or 3 mils wider as well.
Looks like the speakers are on the top too, whereas on the RT device they're on the side here. I'm just going to pivot this round again on the other side, Craig. If you can give us what we've got a comparison on this side.
So we've got essentially they're almost the same, bar the USB port, the USB 3 port. So we've got rocker buttons. Looks like we've possibly got a microphone or a speaker on the RT there.
Now the USB 3 port on the Surface Pro also allows you to as a charging port as well.
That's right.
So you can actually charge your devices, like we actually have a Lumia 920 here, which we'll test out a little bit later as well.
Correct.
Now I'm trying to, for the life of me, just work out where this goes.
It actually sticks on the side. I saw in a video on the internet. It is magnetic of some sort. Oh no, into the charge slot. So it is magnetic and it sits in the charge slot, if you guys can see that. And there's a charge slot there and it is magnetic.
Now Microsoft's made a lot of noise around this whole magnetic, the click element of the keyboard and everything else that goes with it. So obviously the keyboards are interchangeable. All you have to do, very simple, you just walk up, and this is where demos go wrong. You just click it like that, and suddenly your keyboard's attached.
And the cover.
Yeah, and the cover is up. So you get a cover, suddenly there you go. Definitely a weight comparison. It's definitely a lot, well, not a lot heavier, but I'd say 20-30% heavier than the RT devices.
Again, there's going to be some downsides for having so much more power.
Yeah, but it definitely feels nice in the hand, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Now, we're going to go through and we're going to, if I can just hand that to you, we're actually going to power this up. So we're going to probably pause the recording right now and we're going to get the Surface Pro up and running, and we'll come back in a few seconds. So we've taken 10 minutes. We've got the Windows 8 Pro device up and running, and this thing is actually from start to finish is all up and running now. That was a lot quicker than a Surface RT setup. I think the pure horsepower that we've got in the with the i5 processor makes a big difference. We've just had a quick play whilst it was setting up. Craig, do you want to talk about the pen?
So the pen I've seen online, and I must admit we all thought it was a bit of a gimmick, and we thought it might just, because it's quite light and it feels like you'd lose it. Essentially, this plugs into the charging slot, and you can see it. I'll turn it around. You can see it. It snaps in quite heavily, because it's heavily magnetized.
Yeah. Now you could lose that in the bag. If you give it a good knock, you're going to lose it out. But if you want to do that pull, test.
So if you pull it along.
So you can actually give it a good amount. That's a lot better than we thought it was. We thought it was going to be a light clip on the side, and that's actually giving us a really firm, I suppose, grip on what's going on. Really nice.
That also doubles as a clicker, as I can see. So that'll be wonderful.
One of the other things to note is they made some key adjustments to the power charger. Now I'm going to try and get this to the camera. I don't know if you'll be able to zoom in on that one for me. But they took a lot of feedback that the Surface RT power lead wasn't clicking in properly. So what they've done is they've actually beveled out a little bit more, given us about 1 or 2 more mils, and it actually interchanges really nice with the Surface RT. So I've tested it on my RT device, charges fine. Craig, do you want to plug that puppy in?
No worries.
Now, one of the other things, as Craig's mentioned quite a few times, this is a full-blown PC, and there's fin here. Now, you can hear the slightest of hum if there is silence in the room, but it almost sounds like a little bit of that when you start up a TV, you get that slight hum just as it's powering up and then it's dead quiet. So there's no fan noise as this thing's here. Now, as we mentioned earlier, one of the great things is doing the keyboard.
Yeah, you're right.
You can have a play with that one. You've got the same Windows 8 UI, so you've got the tiles that come through the active tiles there. Are we up and running?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So start to finish, 10 minutes to get the device up and running.
Yep, it's downloaded my emails from probably the last 3 days. It's got all my links to my SkyDrive. It's got, you name it. It'll start downloading my apps that I've chosen on my main PC as well.
Now, what we're hearing is that if you do, for continuous battery life, you're looking at about 5 to 5.5 hours. What that actually means is that you can pretty much get through an entire day because you don't use your PC continuously a lot of the time. You normally have breaks in between, or if you're on the road with one of these devices, you're closing it up, you're going to your next meeting. So you're looking at about a whole day for full battery charge. Where I think you will notice the battery is if you're doing a flight from, say, Auckland to Sydney, you'll probably chew through half your battery while you watch movies and videos. I'm guessing from that side. We'll do some more testing and write some reviews on that.
Yeah, again, so I mean, there's a lot of grunt in here. It's gonna use power if you start using it heavily. I would suggest that when you're using things that heavily, that you probably want to plug it in anyway.
One of the great reviews that we'll post up online also is that people have actually got Diablo 3 up and running on this to give you an idea of the graphics capability as well, which is really, really good.
So I imagine something like Steam for games, PC games, won't be able to run all of it, I'm sure, but I reckon that'd be great.
Now, we're going to quickly spin this around because what we'll try and do is we'll try and show you the touch pen in action if we can. What I'll do here is I'll quickly flick across and see. Now, actually, just before we do that, as we've mentioned quite a few times, this is a full-blown PC. So you've got the new Windows UI interface, you've got the pinch zoom, the ability to do that, pinch out again, but you've still got a desktop. So there's a full-blown desktop.
And that's my desktop from home, which it's downloaded also.
Yep. Now, one of the things that people are complaining about or given feedback on is that to get this 1080p resolution, you've had to scale and cram a lot into the screen.
That's right.
For me, I actually have no problem with that.
It doesn't look too bad. So my understanding it was things like Windows Explorer. Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
I can still read the text. I mean, maybe my eyes are still young.
But that's really, really nice, fluid movement from that side. Do you want to actually try opening Notepad for me? Good old Notepad, see if we can do some screen typing with that and see how the pen works. But I really like the idea of being able to, one of the key things actually before we go too far, one of the key differentiators with the OS, this comes with Office. This comes with Word, PowerPoint,
I've heard a few things
Excel, and OneNote with it as well. Whereas this doesn't. You get a 30-day trial or 60-day trial of Office 365. So you're going to have to buy Office or one of the other products out there from the store, or you can actually load it from a USB key.
So we've got Paint up here. My daughter's going to love this. Essentially, as you can imagine, it's very, look, a lot of, iOS devices I've used in the past, they're not very accurate. Whereas I can see they've got a very high resolution and a very fine, sort of write my name, I'm terrible writing.
Yeah, look, pen-based devices in the past have had a lag when you've actually been writing. And we're not seeing that too bad. That is not too bad at all. Really, really crisp. Cool, so obviously as you saw, that was us unboxing the Surface Pro device. And we managed to compare it to the Surface RT, which has been in New Zealand for a little while.
Yes.
And it was a really good detail with Craig Brock on the set at the time, and we actually managed to go through, and Craig was one of the ones that actually got that Surface Pro device for us here in New Zealand.
You know what's really funny? He did not get a chance to open that box until we actually filmed it, and he was biting at the bit for it, eh?
You know what? I actually had it under my desk and I wouldn't give it to him. So, we were really lucky, but with the Surface Pro now launching in New Zealand, it was a good opportunity for us to revisit what we did here on Geeksphere and actually give you, the viewers, an understanding of where we've been and what we actually get up here at Geeksphere TV.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, if you want to know more about us, we're on the website geeksphere.tv. You can also follow us on Twitter at Geeksphere TV, Facebook and Google+, search for Geeksphere TV. You'll find us. Brad, how do we follow you?
It's very simple, at Brad Bohr, BRADBOR. Follow me on Twitter. I'd love to have you there.
And at Urban Kiwi NZ is my Twitter handle. Look, we love your feedback. Let us know what you think about the Surface Pro. Comment on this video, or even just email or whatever. Send us feedback. We love it.
Yep, we love it. Hit our website. We love the hits on the website.
Anyway, enjoy your weekend and go forth and buy gadgets.
Yeah, enjoy the special. See you. Bye.